So what I want to share with you today is one of the tools that I've used to really help maximize the results of any of the development I've ever done. This has happened in business, this has happened in my fitness, and now it's happened with my diet. And it's something that's talked about a lot in personal development, and it's journaling. But when I first started to learn about journaling and read the books that said, hey, you need to journal every day and things like that, I was like, what the hell am I supposed to journal about? I would go like try to write in the morning and it just didn't do much for me. And then at night I would try to do it and I just had nothing to really journal about. And then I started to think about it and I was like, well, I used to journal when I was running my business and it helped me actually a lot. So what I realized is, I just have to take what I learned from doing it in my business and bring it towards my own personal development. Now, when I was running my business, what I would journal about was the problems that came up throughout the day. So simple things like, we showed up at a job site without a certain tool. So I would define what the problem was, and then I would have to say, okay, how am I going to fix that problem? And it was very simple. I would just find the solution. I would pack my truck and my tool bags the day before. And that really allowed me to not show up to jobs without missing anything. And if I didn't have anything in my toolbox that I needed, I would be able to say, okay, I'm going to stop at Home Depot in the morning and I'm going to go get that. So then I got more into personal development and I was reading about journaling and I was like, okay, but like, I'm just going to the gym, I'm going to jujitsu, I'm eating and stuff. Like, what am I really supposed to be journaling? I don't like tracking all my calories or things like that. But as I got more and more into it, I started realizing, okay, there's little problems that come up. And when they would come up, I would start journaling them. And I would just want to share some of these problems that came up and how journaling actually has helped me fix some of these. So the first thing that I really started to realize as a problem was that some of the environments I was in was actually some of the environments I was in were actually affecting my mood for the rest of the day. So for the first thing is that like when I'm around my son early in the morning, it puts me into like a dad mode, I guess. And it kind of throws off my energy for the rest of the day when he's not around, when he goes to daycare or out with his mom or anything like that. It puts me more into a state of not so motivated because I've spent so much energy with him in the morning. So I started writing down, okay, when I hang out with my son in the morning, I don't get as much done during the day. And then I was like, okay, well, the thing is, I have to start doing everything that's important early in the morning and try to get it done as early as possible. That way I can still see him, but I have all the important things done. And then as I got more into working out and things, I started to realize that though I don't want to track all my calories and things like that, because I really don't think it's important, it's more important to eat healthy. I started to realize that if I ate at certain times of the day, I would wake up more tired. Or if I ate certain foods at certain times, especially it's, if I eat like at 8 or 9 o'clock at night and I only give myself like an hour to go to before I go to bed, then I was really waking up more groggy. Where I found that if I make sure I eat by like 5 or 6 and I give myself like that 3-4 hours to really begin metabolizing that, I would wake up with a lot more energy. And I also realized that I was losing weight more in my sleep because I was eating earlier. So I was able to define the problem that the timing of my eating is really going to affect my sleep in general. And by adjusting that, I was able to now maintain waking up with high energy, really. So that helped a lot. And then the third thing was that sometimes I would get to the gym and I would kind of be a scatterbrain. I always have like somewhat of a set workout, but like I sometimes couldn't get started and I would want to like get started, but I would just kind of move from one thing to the other. And then I started doing certain workouts where after the workout, I realized that I had more focus And what I realized was I started to journal about it. After I left the gym, I said, okay, I hit the punching bag today and I was more focused immediately afterwards. Or I did the jump rope today and I was way more focused immediately afterwards. And my whole workout was a lot better. So I didn't have to journal a bunch of like details about things. All I really had to do was journal to acknowledge the problems that are coming up and then be able to find the solution. Then I would journal the solution and this kind of ingrained it for me. It's like, okay, now I know I have to get all of my stuff done early in the morning. That way I can spend the time with my son. I have to eat at certain points in the day because it affects my energy for the next day even. And I have to figure out like basically what my warm-ups are that allow me to get into the state of mind that says, hey, I'm going to be working out right now. It's basically just sending the signals to my body that this is what's happening and you need to be prepared for it. So I wanted to share that with you because I think that for myself, it was very hard to start journaling. I didn't have a clue what I wanted to start journaling. But as I got into development, I realized the problems that are coming up are what I'm supposed to be journaling about. How am I resolving these problems? And that's what I started doing. And I think if you start doing that, you're going to have a lot better luck of making yourself like a perfect routine and being able to be successful with it. You know, the energy, the state of minds that you get into and the energy that you have are all really important to this. So I wanted to share it with you because it's one of the most simple things that you can do. It doesn't make a lot of sense when you first start doing it, but when you actually get into doing it and you see the results from doing it, it makes a big difference and you're going to be a lot happier with the personal development path that you are on. So I hope this helps you, and I'll catch you on the next episode of Cognition Ignition.